Hello everyone, welcome to Urban Gothic Series 2. There's not as many episodes in this series as Series 1, and since the rumoured third series hasn't turned up yet, so in not too long it looks like I'll be finishing off with this show and probably going back to Adam Adamant. Anyway, Series 2 of Urban Gothic, they decided that the whole making it so all the episodes take place in the same universe thing worked out so well in the Series 1 finale that they decided to go all out with it this series. Most episodes are somehow connected. Joy.
There's school tomorrow. And you know the Sandman doesn't like boys who won't go to sleep when they're told.
We open on a boy sitting up and reading, and a father trying to terrify him by talking about the Sandman. Now I thought the Sandman was supposed to make you fall asleep, so exactly when he became a monster for scaring kids into going to sleep, I am not sure. Because, whether it's a good idea or not, this series has a tendency to be experimental, the presence of the evil Sandman is shown by half-second audio pieces from Aphex Twin's Come to Daddy. And his actual attack is represented by just playing the single at the kid. You saw it here. If you don't sleep, then an invisible, eccentric dance music track will tear your eyes out. The sort of thing that would be noticed in general society. I hope. What if someone has insomnia? What if you fly into an area where it's night and you're not tired? If there aren't some very good explanations for this, then this might be the silliest idea for a monster in this series. Yet. After the credits is an episode of Touch the Truck. I mean, you snooze, you lose. A bunch of people have to touch a sports car and the last one standing wins it. What sort of a lunatic would actually watch this as a TV show? I mean, someone must have because it pretty much was one, but really, what the fuck? And why doesn't their set look like a game show set? It looks more like a low-budget TV show's attempt to do a game show set. Oh, wait. Anyway, what a perfect time to have a really, really silly, sleep-based invisible eyeball terror of a monster running around, unless that kid had just had double eyeball transplants. And the organ stealer from Series 1 is back. So eventually there are only 5 people left, and apparently the cameramen getting the handheld closer-ish shots are invisible because they don't turn up in the downward angle. Out of the 5 remaining, my favourite is the Kiwi guy whose strategy is to listen to the entire Lord of the Rings. That'll kill the first 5 days, but I wonder how he can handle wearing headphones for that long. Maybe the pain's keeping him awake. And what is he listening to them on? I'm pretty sure if they'd MP3 players back then they wouldn't have had the space for quite that much Tolkien. Another contestant's using blood magic and voodoo dolls in an attempt to win, which I think they're only doing because it's Urban Gothic. She's not even using voodoo dolls the right way. There's also this guy who's an expert in the area of sleep. No idea why he's doing it, but he looks like he's not slept in days before the game show even began. There's this woman who's a professional contest winner. They're all obsessive about winning, just her more so. Amusingly, the actor playing her was in the movie I'll Sleep When I'm Dead. And finally, there's this guy, who's a dickhead.
Shut up. Hey, look. We've got a break in 5 minutes. I can go get the Silmarillion out of my bag.
So 85 hours in 5 minutes from a short break, the digital clock stops and we get some quick cuts signifying that the window licker is ready to consume some more innocents' eyeballs. Or they all just got eye transplants. I wonder why it took him 85 hours to attack them. The kid in the pre-credit sequence was about an hour past his bedtime. These guys kind of aren't. Anyway, the clock starts to pause and then reverse slightly, leaving them perpetually minutes from the break period, and with that, we get all the expected terror of some mildly confused, sleep-deprived people.
Break in 10 minutes, everyone. 10 minutes till the next rest break.
10 minutes? No way.
It was 5 minutes 5 minutes ago.
Okay, we all know it's because of the eyeball-eating monster, but surely this could have been a technical error. Do the referees, 2 guys who never get a break because the guys who invented this game were pretty damn stupid, not have someone else checking shit too? The whole crew for this game show seems to be the contestants, 2 referees who fall asleep at inopportune times, a presenter who buggers off as soon as it begins, and some invisible cameramen. I'd compare this to Don't Scare the Hare, but at least that had a robotic hair. The dickhead begins to seduce the professional contest winner and manipulates her into letting go of the car and therefore losing.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Thus proving he's a dickhead.
Do you know what I'm going to do? Yeah, go and have a sleep. Just think about that. Sleep. I'm just going to close my eyes and drift off.
I love the exploding light. Part of me is convinced that this isn't a TV show, but it's just a very expensive private show for a rich bastard who gets off on watching tired people get fucked with. So the clock's been set back again, and Aphex Twin dressed as the gate cleaner attacks the woman who just lost, even though she was just about to go sleep. Nice one, Richard James, you bastard! So after 2 minutes of flashbacks to stuff that we've already seen, the Kiwi does something sensible.
I can't be asked. I just can't be asked. Keep the car. I can't even drive.
But it's just a dream, and the professional bursts into the main room, eyes missing and screaming. So how do you manage to have your eyes removed in the bathroom of a TV studio and make your way back to the main studio floor, dripping blood and screaming without finding anyone? Even if it's the middle of the night, there should at least be some very bored-looking security around. The only people in this TV studio that are watching this TV show happen are the referees and the invisible cameramen. Of course, from the budget spent on the set, they could be the only people in the entire country watching. So everyone debates helping her, and only the dickhead refuses outright to let go of the car. Because he won't let go, no one else does, and I'm beginning to think that he's not that much worse than anyone else. Anyway, someone notices something important about the clock.
Oh, look. Look at the clock. Oh, shit.
It's over, isn't it? This competition's over.
Time has not stopped. It's not the whim of your nearest clock. And I don't think the loss of the clock made the show any more over than it was the second the woman's eyes got cut out. So the dickhead has a meltdown because he really, really needs the money from winning.
My life depends on winning this car.
Shut up!
Thank you.
No, listen!
Oh fuck, she can hear the soundtrack approaching. The soundtrack then, I shit you not, chases them very slowly around the car, which is just silly.
Shit, that feels good.
The Sandman then takes to manipulating reality to keep the Kiwi in the game, and then when he doesn't get the message and just decides to walk out, well, this happens.
Lisa?
It's the Sandman.
I never thought I'd be so glad to see you lot again.
So finally, after a fuck ton of yelling, they all decide to leave, and as though it was the worst Stephen Moffat script ever written, they get pulled into the darkness one by one. They then jump back to being on the car again, and when the dickhead decides to stay put, the others walk out into the darkness again, where they die again, and they end up back on the car again.
I'm really certain we've just done this.
This is so fucking annoyingly made, and more lights go down, and now they're sure that the monster can only get them in the darkness, because the kid and the professional weren't attacked in the darkness and continuity is pointless. So the others leave and the dickhead stays. He yells about his victory, and because he needs to make sure he's clearly much worse than anyone else involved, he kicks the professional to death for crawling a little too close to the car. Finally, he sees the Sandman approaching and so hides inside, and I had no idea that prize cars in TV studios were usually left unlocked. The next morning, some guys who work in the TV studio come to see what's up, and apparently they can't see anything outside the frame because they should have seen all that crap from halfway across the room. This is one of the single most annoyingly directed things I've ever seen. I'm happy they tried new things, but this didn't work at all. Showing the presence of a monster with a techno beat in random cuts, the fact that the monster looked like an Ent dressed up like a Jedi, and whatever else the fuck was going on. It's a mishmash of experiments that didn't work, and a setup that was stupid and insane on every level. Yeah, the New Zealander was great, but he was silent for most of it, and dead for the rest. I don't even understand what the fuck is going on with the monster. What is it? Why does it act like it's directed by Chris Cunningham? Why does it look like that? Why does it eat eyes? Why is it after people who don't sleep and yet didn't touch the guy who went for 3 weeks without sleep as part of a science experiment? Maybe poorly thought out monsters are just terrified of science, because if your existence made less than no sense, wouldn't you be? Series 2 doesn't have a good start, and it's not going to get better next time, because we have more insanity, stupidity, and confusion. And that's just from me.